All right, so today we're going to dive into this really fascinating idea from our source material. It's this concept that your daily work, your 9 to 5, could be way more than just a job, that it can actually be a strategic platform for something much deeper. So, let me just ask you this straight up. When you think about your work, do you see it as just a way to pay the bills? Or could there be a whole other purpose hiding in plain sight? That's the very question we're digging into in this explainer. And here it is. This is the core idea we're going to unpack together. It suggests that your profession, the thing you do every day, is the very stage where you can connect with people and have a real meaningful impact. Okay, so to really get our heads around this, the source material points us to a pretty powerful case study. We're actually going back almost 2,000 years to a story from the book of Acts, and we're zeroing in on the Apostle Paul and his time in the city of Corinth. So get this, when Paul gets to Corinth, he doesn't just set up a pulpit on a street corner. The first thing he does is find common ground through his trade. He connects with this couple, Aquila and Priscilla, simply because they were also tent makers. His professional skill, that was his way in.
So you can see his initial strategy was, it was really patient. It was methodical. First, use his craft to find that common ground. Then, step 2, build real, genuine relationships by literally living and working with them every day. And that foundation then created the opening, the opportunity on the Sabbath to talk about his beliefs.
Okay, but this is where the story takes a really interesting turn. Paul's patient, relational strategy was about to get supercharged. A key event happened that just completely changed the whole dynamic of his work there.
And what was that key event? His friends showed up. The arrival of his companions, Silas and Timothy, was a total catalyst. The source we're looking at says their arrival brought fresh fire and inspiration. You can just feel the shift in energy, right?
And you can literally see the shift on this slide. It's actually pretty dramatic. Before his friends got there, the language used is reasoning and persuading. But afterwards, it totally intensifies. He was pressed in the spirit and started boldly testifying. It went from a quiet discussion to a bold declaration.
And this really gets to the heart of what our source is highlighting here, the incredible power of companionship. The whole idea is that when you're around other people who are like-minded and passionate, it just strengthens your own conviction. It propels you, It pushes you to be bolder.
So, what was the actual result of this new boldness? What happened? Well, the impact wasn't just on Paul. It had this amazing ripple effect on the very people he first met through his job. And this just illustrates that ripple effect perfectly. Look at the journey Aquila and Priscilla went on. They started out as just business contacts, right? Fellow tent makers. Then they heard Paul's message. But it didn't stop there. They eventually became active ministers themselves, even helping to teach others.
So that's the crucial point. The shared job, the tent making, that was just the initial seed. But what grew from that simple business connection was something so much bigger. It became a platform that led to real, deep personal transformation.
And this, of course, brings the whole thing full circle, right back to the big takeaway of this explainer, how this ancient story is actually being presented as a model for your life, your professional life, today.
The message from the source is pretty direct. The idea is that your job, your specific role in your specific industry, it's not random. It's viewed as a strategic placement, a unique opportunity to have an impact on the people you already interact with every single day. So from this point of view, you're not just a lawyer or a banker or a doctor or a marketer. Your job title is really just a description of your platform, the specific environment where you've been strategically placed.
And our source material really wraps this whole idea up in this powerful biblical metaphor, the idea of being an ambassador. Think about it. An ambassador is a representative, right? They carry a specific message and have a specific purpose right where they are. So, we'll leave you with this final question to really chew on. Looking at your own work, your own colleagues, your industry, what does the platform of your vocation look like?